Hello, grade 8 learner, and welcome to another video lesson in mathematics. In this video lesson, we will be discussing how to factor quadratic trinomials where a is equal to 1. Learning how to factor these types of trinomials will especially help you in solving word problems with, of course, these types of trinomials. So, prepare your pen, paper, and module as you start watching and learning from this video lesson. Happy learning! This lesson is based on the K-12 curriculum learning competency. The learner factors different types of polynomials. By the end of this lesson, you, the learner, should be able to recognize quadratic trinomials where a is equal to 1. Follow the steps in factoring quadratic trinomials whose a is equal to 1 and apply the steps in factoring quadratic trinomials whose a is equal to 1. Let's start our lesson on factoring trinomials. The kind of trinomials that we are going to factor in this lesson is called a quadratic trinomial. It is a trinomial whose degree or whose highest exponent in the variable is 2. It is usually in the form of the expression ax squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c represent integers. Take a look at the following examples of these quadratic trinomials. If we have a quadratic trinomial whose value for a is 1, we can factor it out using the following pattern. In this pattern, the x in the binomial factors remain x, since the factors of x squared is x and x. For the second term, v or w in the binomial factors, however, we have to consider two things. First, that v and w represent factors of c, and that when we add v and w together, we get the value of b as a sum. Look at the given example. To factor quadratic trinomials with a equal to 1, we follow the following steps. First, we identify the factors of c, since, as we have seen from the pattern of the factors, they will be the second terms of the binomial factors. In our example, our last term is 5, and the possible factors of positive 5 are 5 and 1, and negative 5 and negative 1. We consider the negative factors also, since negative times negative gives a positive answer also. Next, we choose which factors of c will give a sum equal to the value of b. In our example, the value of b is 6. So in our list of factors for 5, we will add them up to check which pairs have a sum of 6. After adding, we can see that 5 and 1 give a sum of 6. So this will be the values that we are going to substitute for v and w in the pattern. Now that we've chosen 5 and 1 from our factors of 5, we now substitute them in the pattern. Given the trinomial x squared plus 6x plus 5, we write the factors as the quantity x plus 5 times the quantity x plus 1. Notice that in the pattern, x is the first term, and we used 5 and 1 to substitute for v and w. Lastly, we check our answer by multiplying the factors we created. Because our factors are binomials, we multiply them using either distributive property of equality or the FOIL method. Whichever method we choose, we can see that when we multiplied the quantity x plus 5 with the quantity x plus 1, we get a trinomial which is equal to the quadratic trinomial that we are given. Therefore, we are confident that we have the correct answer. Let's practice some more. Factor m squared minus m minus 20. First, we check which factors of c will give a sum of b. For this step, it is helpful if we make a table to guide us in choosing the factors. It's useful especially when we have a value with a lot of factors. Study this table. On the first column, we have a list of factors of negative 20. Beside each pair of factors, on the next column, we added the pair of factors to check their sum. We can now see that the factors negative 5 and 4 has a sum of negative 1, which is the value of b in our given trinomial. From what we did in the first step then, we will substitute negative 5 and 4 to v and w in the pattern for the factors of the trinomial. This gives us the factors for the trinomial m squared minus m minus 20 as the quantity m minus 5 and the quantity m plus 4. Of course, we check our answer by multiplying to see if our factors are correct. In the solution, we can see that when we multiply the factors, the quantity m minus 5 and the quantity m plus 4 through distributive property or FOIL method, we get a product that is equal to our given trinomial. So we can say that our answer is correct. Good job in following with the lesson. Before we have our final practice, however, a word of caution. In factoring quadratic trinomials, there's a possibility that the trinomial can't be factored out into binomials. Take x squared minus 2x plus 8 for example. When we take a look at the factors of 8, we can see that there is no pair of factors that can give a sum equal to the value of b, which is negative 2. This means that the trinomial can't be factored out. That is why it's important that we start by checking the problem first before we solve. Now it's time to practice what you've learned. Factor the trinomial x squared plus 9x plus 20. Pause the video first and solve before proceeding to the final answer. Are you done? If you got the factors, the quantity x plus 5 and the quantity x plus 4, you are correct. Good job! Look at the solution below to confirm your answer. Congratulations for finishing this video lesson. We hope that you have learned from watching this. If there are still things that are not clear to you, you can always rewind this video, read your module, or ask help from your teacher. Remember, your learning is always in your hands. Sidney J. Harris once said, "The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows." So, as a learner, you should not just absorb the lessons, you also should be able to apply these lessons in your daily life. So keep learning, stay safe and healthy, and we'll see each other again in the next video lesson.